All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner, Jam Football, doing a draft film breakdown on Texas defensive tackle Byron Murphy. Guy was unbelievably productive at college. For defensive tackles, he's number one in pass rush win rate, number one in pass rush productivity. But he's 6'1". He's bordering on 300 pounds. His arms haven't been measured yet, but they're sure to not be a favorable measurement for him. But the film is really good. Really good. Now, I think there's areas he needs to get better. We're going to go through the run game, some of the issues he may have, how he counters that, and then in the pass rush, you're going to see a lot of good stuff. And I actually think there's some room to grow as a pass rusher, right? Like there's some things he does that may work at the college level that he may need to change in the NFL. So let's get into it. I mean, the guy's fast as hell, can move, and you don't get that production on accident at a big school. So first play, we're going to talk about him using his size to his advantage, getting leverage on guys, right? Lining up at nose tackle over the center and getting under this center's arms, right? So we throw that right hand as a sense to get the hands up of that center. And it may not be the best view, but you see him quickly working his hands to get underneath those arms and get underneath the pads of the center. And get underneath and then rip through, right? Now the ball comes out quick. But I mean, if this is anything but a quick, slant, that's a nice quarterback hit for Byron Murphy. Next play. See him work the bull on the guard, right? Lined up over the guard. On the center. Getting underneath him, right? Getting pad level, getting leverage. See those hands getting underneath those arms. Keep your feet driving. And you sack the quarterback with one hand. Right? And this not just getting underneath, but getting underneath quick, right? We're making sure we're playing our lane. And then bam, get underneath him, keep your feet driving, good athleticism. Sack for Byron Murphy. Next play. Right, we're reading our run. Getting our hands on this guard, reading what we've got, right, and then just strengthen the hands. Strengthen the hands, despite having what's probably going to end up being short arms. Pull, rip, all in one quick motion. His ability to string everything together, right? Shock, extend, rip. All very quickly. Shock, extend, rip. Feet are fast. Force a quarterback out of the pocket. Ends up having to throw the ball away. Here lined up over the guard in Alabama. I mean, right, we're playing games with our hands, trying to time up the punch of this guard, right? And as soon as he throws that left hand out, right, watch the right hand club. Bam, club, while keeping your feet moving. Club, keep your feet moving. Get to that half-man relationship. You get that hand on his shoulder pad the way he does. You can't see it, but he has that shoulder. And then just pull. Bull and pull. Take advantage of that. Right? And just see how he's able to string all of this together so quickly. It's just a lot for an offensive lineman to deal with a guy who moves like that. His hands work that quickly and has the footwork to match with it. Here just first step, right? Gaining ground. We attack the back with our left hand. Right hand's ripping through. Center's late to get over. And we're bringing some power through, right? We're opening up his shoulders. And I think he can get a lot better at this stuff, right? I think he's inconsistent at the snap. Not that he has great get-off, right? But he needs to time up the snap a little better. So if he does stuff like he starts timing up the snap a little better, he's going to have a lot of wins like that because he's just so quick and hard to deal with as a pass rusher. Here over the center at Iowa State, and just look how quick those hands are, how quick his feet are, how he's able to work lateral, right? We're swatting hands. I mean, it's crazy how fast they go. Rip while getting into that gap. All one movement. Again, ball gets out quick, but that's a great pass rush. It's a great pass rush. Here, line up over the center again. And Iowa State likes these slants, especially versus Texas. Keep your hands moving. Swipe that right hand off of you. Swim. While gaining ground. Good pass rush. And then here versus Alabama. Versus the center. Using this stutter. And just just using violence in your hands, right? Stutter. Da-da-da, bam! Get that center on the field and wash that club. I know the guard's able to get over there and help, but that's an embarrassing rep for that center. Stutter. Da-da-da, bam! Now, I actually think that stutter should set some more stuff up for him. Right? Like here on this play. Stutter, right? I think that stutter, because guys are so worried about his speed, right, and having to work laterally, set this stutter up and then go through the dude's chest. Go through his chest, right? Set him up, because he's so worried about working laterally. Go through his chest, and I think that can add to a new element to his game as a pass rusher. But, man, you just see pass rush productivity show up down after down whenever he's out there, and that's going to translate to the NFL. There's things he's got to work on and get better at, timing up the snap, getting the power a little more, but there's just so many good pass rush reps. With Byron Murphy in the run game, you're going to see flashes of greatness. That's going to happen when you have his speed, his hand fight, his eyes, his ability to generate power once he gets moving. But you're also going to see issues, right, where his size can work against him. You're going to see in double teams, like the down-to-down stuff in the NFL, and it may give hesitation to defensive coaches on how and when to put him on the field early on in his career. But you do see him working to not only get better at his issues, but doing things to fight against it, whether it's, dropping the knee versus double teams. But you can't really do that every single time you get double teamed in the NFL. And it's not going to work as well. So let's get into all of it. First, let's go through the good stuff. Lined up here at nose versus center of Alabama. And this is what he needs to do more early on in the NFL. This is what he could do. Use your quickness, use your speed. Now, he's lined up at the nose tackle, so you're not usually going to be penetrating a gap very much in the NFL. Line up head up. But you get him, line him up in the gap like this player is right here, and you can see more of this. And despite some of his issues, he's going to be enough of a disruptor in the run game to justify having him on the field. But you see, good first step, right? We get lateral, upfield, left arm ripping through. We won, right? We won. We forced the back to cut back. This next play, he's going to be lining up over the right guard. You're going to see his guard pull, and you're just going to see his quickness and his good play recognition to make this play. And it really saves Texas on this, right? So immediately his guard is pulling. His guard is pulling, so we got to bump everything down a gap, right? So we're quick. Bam, quick hands. We bring the hands to the offensive lineman. We get in this gap. We get this center head heavy. Bam. Awesome. You've already done a good job, Byron Murphy. But where is that guard going? What is that guard's purpose? To kick out this player, and the running back's going to run up on it. So he has, one, the good eyes and play recognition to recognize this, but also the athletic ability to get over here and square up in the hole with his back. Right? Get over here, square up in the hole with his back, make the stop. And honestly, it's a difference maker. Right? It's a huge difference maker. Let's pretend he just does what, some decent defensive tackles would do. Stay right here. Right? End up staying right here. Well, this back would have had a one-on-one with this safety, and he may have won that and taken that for a 20-plus yard gain. Instead, you're getting a run stop. Here, you're going to see something, similar, not the exact, not the greatness of the last play, but good. Right? Our guard's pulling. Right? This time the center gets to his landing spot a little better. We get those hands on. We drive through. We fight to win our gap and work to get over and make a play. Next play. Right, this play we're throwing a run blitz at them, so we're jumping into this gap anyways. All right, we're throwing a run blitz at them, jumping into this gap. All right, so we're in our gap. Now we get square, we get low, we get leverage, and we drive through his chest. Right? Now, this ends up being a good run for Bama, but it's not because of Byron Murphy. Right? See how quick we are getting into this gap, get low, generate force. Good play by Byron Murphy. Not much, not very many other people in Texas had a good play, but he did. Now, here's the issues. Here's the issues you're going to see. Lined up at nose tackle here. He gets moved on double teams. He gets displaced. He is not good holding up versus the double teams, right? We're going to see this guard get in the hip. I mean, we're being moved. And you don't like seeing that from a first-round defensive tackle, right? It's one thing to have all this pass rush ability and be like, hey, he's not the best versus the run right now, but against college, he's able to hold up at least. You don't like seeing that. Gets moved off this double team. Next play versus Iowa State. Line up right here over the guard. I mean, that center's this ends up being an RPO, but that center's just coming over to give help, right? He's just trying to give help to, get you on you outside here. And he tosses you, right? You don't want that to happen versus an Iowa State center. And if they did hand this off, and Tavondre Stewart doesn't do such a good job, like that's a big play because of you. Here versus Bama. Right? Center holds up. Guard comes in. I mean, we're able to just move you down. We're moving you from inside the hashes to outside that SEC logo. And you don't want that. Now, here's what he does to counteract that. And I like it. Right here, line up at nose tackle. Using this drop knee technique. Right? You see him make a play, split this. So it's really hard to push a guy whose knee is essentially on the ground. Right? Really hard to do that. So when he feels that double, what he immediately does is drop that knee on the ground. And you can push him over, but you're not moving him, right? You're not creating space. And you're also making it harder for one of these guys to go off and pick up the linebacker, right? So you're, helping your linebacker get free. But what Byron Murphy's able to do is he's able to do that, split this, and explode from that knee and make a tackle, right? So I love that. And that's why, my worries of Byron Murphy aren't as big as they might be if we just had like the bad double team film, right? It's like, man, he's at least like acknowledging it and working against it. And, hopefully he can get stronger and learn how to ID these things and figure out different ways to work against this. But you see this here versus Kansas, right? Same thing. We feel that double, drop the knee. Drop the knee. These guys can't get off to the linebackers the way they want to. They can't move you at all. And you're helping make a tackle. So some good stuff from Byron Murphy, right? Like, this is a fun guy to watch. And I think he can have immediate pass rush production as a defensive tackle. And I think he's going to be able to at least be a disruptor in the run game early on. I think there'll probably be, like, comparisons to Kalijah Kancey. I don't like him nearly as much as Kancey, but I loved Kancey last year. But this is really good film, man. And as the teams look for pass rush on the interior and the defensive tackle gets more and more money, Byron Murphy can be a valuable piece for a team, and I think he's absolutely worth the first-round pick. So I hope you guys like these videos. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we will see you on the next one.